Two coastal societies, separated by hemisphere and religion, built wealth not by conquest, but by coordination. They did not rule vast empires. They did not dominate continents. They did not rely on large standing armies. Yet both became indispensable to global trade, not because they controlled land, but because they controlled flows. Between the 14th and 17th centuries, the Swahili Coast and the Dutch Republic rose to prominence inside two different oceans. The Swahili Coast operated along the Western Indian Ocean, connecting Africa, Arabia, Persia, India, and Southeast Asia. The Dutch Republic emerged on the edge of the North Sea, linking the Baltic, Atlantic Europe, and eventually the wider world. One developed early, inside a mature trading system. The other arrived later, inside a violently competitive one. But both faced the same structural question: how do you accumulate power without territorial empire? The Swahili Coast did not begin as a blank slate. By the 13th century, inland Africa already produced immense value: gold from the Zimbabwe plateau, ivory from the interior, iron and agricultural surplus from river systems. But inland transport was slow, dangerous, and politically fragmented. Caravans were vulnerable. Authority dissipated with distance. Meanwhile, the Indian Ocean trade network was already centuries old. Remaining peripheral meant stagnation. Integration meant survival. So coastal cities reorganized themselves not around land, but around harbors. The Dutch Republic faced a different constraint. The land itself was fragile. Large portions sat below sea level. Agricultural surplus was limited. The population density was high. At the same time, the Dutch were locked in prolonged conflict with the Spanish Habsburg Empire, cutting them off from Iberian trade routes. Land expansion was impossible. Imperial imitation was too costly. So the Dutch turned outward, not to conquer territory, but to outperform intermediaries. These pressures resulted in their respective golden ages. The Swahili Golden Age was built on predictability. Monsoon wind cycles allowed merchants to sail east with one seasonal wind and return west with another. Ports operated as stable nodes, not extraction points. Stone-built coral cities like Kilwa, Mombasa, and Sofala faced the sea deliberately. Mosques, warehouses, and docks formed the urban core. Islam functioned as infrastructure, a shared legal framework, contract enforcement, and trust across cultures. On the other hand, the Amsterdam Exchange formalized credit. The Bank of Amsterdam stabilized currency. Joint stock companies pooled risk. The Dutch East India Company did not merely trade, it standardized logistics, ship design, cargo accounting, insurance, and time discipline. Rather than controlling territory directly, the Dutch controlled systems of movement. Goods passed through Dutch hands. Capital passed through Dutch institutions. Information passed through Dutch ports. Wealth accumulated through repetition, not spectacle. Both societies rejected imperial overreach. The Swahili avoided inland conquest, preserving autonomy through trade. The Dutch avoided continental dominance, preserving flexibility through finance. Both favored networks over borders. Both invested in institutions rather than armies. Both understood that trust compounds faster than force. Yet their risks differed. The Swahili depended on stability within an existing ocean system. The Dutch thrived by disrupting older monopolies. One stabilized an ancient network, the other optimized a competitive one.